Alrighty, hello and welcome. My name is Paul Walker, and this is going to be the first of many videos. But I really wanted to kick off today with a new sense of purpose, a new sense of what I'm going to be doing moving forward, and ultimately that is really just building my own online business, but doing it in a way that has a little bit more of a different twist. Um, so basically, in a nutshell, yeah, I'm really been passionate for a long time about marketing and in particular internet marketing and really how the whole internet, and social media really plays such a massive part for a lot of people's lives, mine included. And I really, I guess, for the last sort of couple of years, been sitting back and taking notice of, you know, influencers in particular, how the average person really can start their own following, really start influencing people to buy products, to follow them, to buy services, all that type of thing. And really, as we move forward, and in particular, obviously with the internet, a lot more people are starting their own sort of home-based business. Getting a laptop, creating a business, and really doing that more so than continuing to work in jobs and the traditional way of sort of making money. And that's just the way of the world. I think that's just the way the world is changing at the moment. And yeah, I want to be a part of that. Yeah, I definitely feel I've come to a point in my life where, yeah, working the traditional jobs as they were have only gotten me so far, and they've only served me personally such a sort of purpose and a result. So yeah, these next videos that I'm going to be continuing to bring out, whether it's live streams or actually pre-recorded videos, are really going to talk about internet marketing, starting your own sort of home-based business, whether that's doing affiliate marketing or e-commerce, being an influencer, using social media, branding, that type of stuff, social media agency work, e-commerce agency work. All those things I'm very passionate about, and do have a bit of a skill set in. So certainly looking to use my knowledge, my expertise, and help, I guess, as many people as I can that want to learn these type of things. But the difference, the twist I want to kind of put on it all is I want to incorporate my hobbies, things that I enjoy, in my life, and use that to explain and really bring forward, my message of, marketing and all that type of stuff. So that brings me to today, which is basically doing the first video, really sort of setting the platform, and yeah, running on this kind of a bit of a twist compared to what I see a lot of other people doing. So as you probably saw yesterday, if you were following me a lot on social media, the big movie of the moment, Avengers Endgame, came out. And instead of doing like a typical Endgame review of the actual movie, I want to talk about how the marketing of that particular movie can be applied to your business, whether you've got a business right now or potentially going to start one in the future. There's a few key principles that I took out of not only watching the movie yesterday, but the build up to the movie and the marketing strategy that Disney and Marvel Studios in particular used. How can you incorporate that into, as I said, your own business? So as you see, if I sit up here a little bit more, I've got my Thanos shirt on just to keep in the same sort of vibe. And yeah, so as I said, that's kind of the twist. I was saying to my friend yesterday, I guess in sitting back and noticing a lot of people with their businesses and all that sort of stuff, and I don't mean to come across like a dick, but I see a lot of people that their business is their life. In that, businesses come number one. You've got to focus on your business, and then hopefully with the hours that you've got left, you can get to live a bit of a life. Well, I want to flip that on its head, and in particular, watching these influencers, I want my life to be my business. So I want to live my life, do the things that I want to do the things I enjoy doing, but incorporate how can I monetize that? How can I take the things that I'm passionate about, have hobbies with, and help teach people, monetize that thing so that I can basically live my life, but in doing so, kind of kill two birds with one stone, as opposed to, as I said, a lot of people that live for their business, work for their business, and then with whatever time they have left, try and live a life. So, hey, I could be wrong, I don't know, but that's the motto, that's the motive, I guess, that I'm going to be running with these videos and moving forward with, my business in particular. So, a couple of points that I took out of watching Endgame, and I actually ended up watching it twice yesterday. So, first time really just watched it as, as a fan of these movies, as a fan of pop culture and stuff like that. Really just went in, kind of switched the business brain off, and just enjoyed it for the movie that it is. And then the second time, really took notice of the marketing. Obviously, the marketing leading up to it, that was already kind of said and done. But I guess the hidden meanings and the things that I took away from and out of the movie in particular, that I believe, as I said, you can use in your own business. So let's kick off with number one. So I think the biggest thing really is the storytelling. If you ask any Marvel fan, why they've been watching all these movies for the last 20 films, 10 years, it's because of the storytelling. What stories these kids and adults have been following in comic books. Someone's now taken that property and turned it into these massive, billion-dollar movies and stuff. But that couldn't happen if there wasn't the sense of story right from the beginning. Okay, so whether you like Marvel or not, you'll understand the principle, right? If there's not a story that you can connect to in some way or not, then you won't emotionally connect with it. You won't follow it. You won't care. Okay, so just as some people really love Marvel and some people don't, other people like, I don't know, the reality TV shows, the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills and all that kind of stuff. They still have a storyline, they still have characters and all that sort of stuff. Just a different market, just a different demographic that they're targeting to, right? So, storytelling for me is probably the big thing, in movies in general, but in particular, what Marvel's been doing over the last sort of 10 years. So how can you apply that to your business? Well, every business has a story. It's just a matter of whether you're telling it or not, It doesn't matter what business you're in. You could be a mechanic, you could be a digital marketing agency, you could be a big corporate firm, or lawyers, whatever. There's still a story to tell, and it's just a matter of finding out what that story is for you and how you can communicate that with your followers, with people who want to hire you for your products and your services. Okay, so that was probably the big thing that I took away out of this whole 10 years of Marvel, is storytelling and incorporating that story into your marketing, into your business, into your employees, understanding where you came from, where did the business start, how can you communicate that with, as I said, people who are looking to, buy your products and services. So that's probably the biggest thing, storytelling. If you can get that right, like, most of your hard work is done. And as long as you can tell that story in an authentic way to you, you're not making stuff up, you're not trying to be bigger and grander than what you actually are, because honesty will punch through more than trying to be something that you're not. There's the whole fake it till you make it thing. Yeah, that kind of works to an extent. But when it comes to storytelling, the more real, the more honest you can be, you'll find that you'll probably reach people's emotions and really tap into their own sense of who am I, where do I belong, all that sort of stuff. Now, that might sound really deep and real philosophical, but I believe you're getting the point that I'm trying to make, that if you can tell, as I said, just tell the overall story of where you came from, why are you in the business that you are, who is it that you're looking to serve, who is it that you're looking to connect with, and do that through storytelling in your marketing, then you're halfway there. That's my belief. Number two, I touched on already, emotions. So once you start telling your story, what are the emotions within that story that you really need to tap into? And again, let's look at the Marvel film, especially Endgame. It makes you laugh, makes you cry. There's anger, there's revenge, there's a sense of competition, wanting to win. Now, all these emotional things, tie into us because we're humans. That's what we are based on, emotions, right? And we can relate to those things. Now, we're not all Iron Man, we're not all the Hulk, we don't have these superpowers, but take those superpowers away, they're still emotional beings. And that's how we relate to them. So, in your storytelling, if you can tap into some sort of an emotion that your followers and people who want and need your product and service are also feeling and also going through, then that's how you're going to cut through versus someone else who's just telling a story but not really highlighting the emotions of that particular story, if that makes sense. So that was probably the big thing. And again, leading up to the marketing of this particular movie, that's what they tied in on, the emotions, the way that they, if you look at how Endgame really did the marketing leading up to this, the core 6 characters, Iron Man, Thor, the Hulk, Captain America, Scarlet Johansson, but Black Widow, and Hawkeye. When they started putting the trailer together, they flashed back to a lot of their older movies and took scenes or took quotes from those movies to highlight the emotional journey that they've been on. And leading up to this end game of a film, all those emotional ties were going to get sorted, get resolved, and come to a conclusion. So watching those trailers, you basically could tap into the emotion of, man, these guys have been through a lot, or they've had a lot of death, or they've had a lot of wins or happiness, or whatever the case may be. So if you can tap that into your own storytelling for your business, then there'll be people out there feeling the exact same thing, and they'll emotionally, gravitate towards your business. Really, that's what it is. Okay, and probably the third and final one, and this is the one that I think really struck a chord for me, and you can't necessarily always use this in your business, but when you can, I think it's worth its weight in gold, really. That's my personal belief. So the number 3 thing that I took away from this whole Marvel experience was the primal emotion, the primal setting of we all have it, our childlike wonderment, our inner child. Okay, so what do I mean by that? Well, we all came from somewhere, right? We're all born, period of time, we're all kids and all that sort of stuff. Yet a lot of us grow up so quickly that sometimes we forget we can still be that kid at sometimes. Yeah, we got to be an adult. We got to be an adult in adult situations, but there's times that we can still muck around and be a kid and have the freedom to do that. And that's what really struck a chord with me with these Marvel films. As someone who's nearly 40 years old, spending a whole day watching the movie twice, really just getting immersed in the vibe of everyone else who's there to enjoy that film. You felt like you were a 7-10-year-old kid just running around with other people, high-fiving, giving props to people that have dressed up like their favorite characters. Now, As a 40-year-old adult, yeah, people might look at you and go, "Oh, geez, that guy's a bit of a nerd, a bit of a strange person, or whatever." That's the adult speaking. A kid, they don't care about that sort of stuff. So how can you use that in your business? Well, again, if you can tap into your clients, whether you've got a service or a product, something that can, emotionally release that inner child where they get some sort of an enjoyment, some sort of a excitement out of working with you, or a promotion that you're offering, a giveaway, whatever the case may be, something that just taps into that. Stop being an adult for 5 minutes. You can have a bit of fun with this. That again, I think, will just cut through to your prospective buyers and customers a lot more than always just giving the features and benefits and the facts, of your business. So that's it. That's my thoughts. I wanted to keep this video sort of fairly short, even though I've gone nearly half an hour. That's that's short for me. So I hope you enjoyed it. And of course, if you've liked what I've said, want to hear more of it, then feel free to leave a comment, on these threads. Of course, if you do like this content, you want to continue to keep seeing more of it, and I guess hearing my perspective on how can you use pop culture to explain marketing in your business, that's kind of what I really want to lead with, then take the action. You know what to do. And yeah, I would love to hear your comments, see what ideas you have. Did you agree with me? Did you disagree with me? I want to hear it all. So take the action. You know what you do. You've done it 1,000 times on other social media platforms, so don't be scared to do it here. And I really look forward to bringing out the new video. As I say, connecting with you guys and hearing your thoughts and your opinions. And I'll see you in the next video. Bye for now.